What if we told you that your leadership is not defined by what you say, it's defined by what people experience from you? Because here's the truth, you are always leading, even when you don't think you are, even when you're tired, even when no one is watching. And the question is not, are you leading? The question is, what kind of shadow are you leaving behind? Lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Bolts. I'm an attorney and founder of Bolts Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Bolts, owner of Bolts Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the Miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. Every time I go to a conference, I come back with new podcast ideas. So I just came back from the BNI convention, and the CEO, Mary Kennedy Thompson, broke down leadership in a way that I thought was really good. So I wanted to share with you some of the things she talked about. And she said that there's 4 levels of leadership. So the first level is just leading yourself, and this is where everything starts. And so if you can't manage your time, your own emotions, your commitments, then how are you going to lead anyone else effectively? So if you say you're going to go to the gym and then don't go, or if you say you'll finish something and then don't, you're breaking trust with yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, then how can you expect others to? Kobe Bryant once said, "I do not negotiate with myself." And this hit me because I've been there. I'm there all the time, where it's like you have good intentions, you plan to do something, and then you don't follow through, and you think you're not hurting anyone but yourself. But building trust within yourself is important, and it is a stepping stone to then being able to lead others.
I feel like the gym is a really bad example because we all kind of struggle with that at some point in our lives. It kind of should be like in its own category, but I agree with everything else.
Okay, so there's a pass for the gym, because
Yes.
that's like my biggest one. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, good. So number 2 is leading others. So this is where most people think leadership begins. But the truth is that people don't follow your words. They follow your consistency. Yeah. So if you are doing part 1, which is leading yourself in a way that other people witness as being consistent, then they will trust you to lead them because they see how you first conduct yourself.
It's true. Like, first, number 1, you can't expect somebody to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. But then when they see that you're actively achieving, succeeding, and doing these certain things, they are going to model your behavior. Like, whatever you set as the example, as the standard, is what they're going to then emulate and think of as being acceptable.
Right. So the third type of leadership is leading leaders. So this is the next level. And now you're not just leading people or leading anybody, you're leading people who lead people. And that means your influence multiplies. So that's step 3.
Yeah. That's a pretty big step. When you're able to start inspiring and leading leaders, that's when you know that you've got those first couple ones nailed in. The next one is leading an organization. Once you're leading an organization, you're now shaping culture, standard, expectations at scale. So your habits become the company's habits.
So another thing that Mary spoke about were 5 things that set the tone in leadership. So these are 5 questions that every leader should be asking themselves. Number 1 is, what do I say? What are the things that I'm saying out of my mouth? Your words matter, but not just in big speeches, in your everyday conversations. People are listening to the things you say. Are you speaking positively? Are you speaking negatively? Are you lifting others up or tearing them down? Being aware of your words is important and will affect the scope or extent of your leadership.
Absolutely. How do I act? Behavior always outweighs intention. So you can say family comes first, but if your actions say work come first, people are going to believe your actions.
Number 3 is, am I resilient? How do you respond when things go wrong? Because your team is watching. Do you panic or do you pivot?
And how do you show courage? Do you have those hard conversations? Do you make difficult decisions? Do you stand firm when it matters? Or do you avoid discomfort?
Right. I think people really, really watch that in a leadership style when there's a hard conversation that needs to be had. If you put it off or you avoid it, I definitely think that people lose some trust in your leadership ability.
Yeah, and respect too. Like if you don't have those hard conversations when things need to be addressed or make the changes that need to be made, and it's directly impacting the well-being of your employees or the company culture, then yeah, people are going to lose respect for you quick if you aren't having those difficult conversations.
And the 5th question that sets the tone is, do I act with care? And so this is basically, do people feel valued around you? Not managed, not supervised, not used, but valued. Do they feel like you care? That's the 5th question that sets the tone of your leadership.
Yeah, we have actually done research for other podcast episodes in the past, and being valued is more important than receiving a paycheck. You know, obviously they still got to get paid and be paid, but people are going to leave if they don't feel like they're valued. They're going to leave more so over those reasons than any like discrepancies in pay.
Right.
Having a standout speaker resume is so important to booking speaking engagements. If you're looking to increase your speaking engagements, but don't know where to start with your speaker resume and you'd like to see a couple of examples, we would be happy to share ours with you.
Go to missbiz.com/contact and in the subject line type speaker resumes and we'll send you your copy today.
So the concept that will stick with you, or here's the concept that will stick with you regarding your leadership shadow. Your leadership shadow is the lasting influence you leave, shaped by your behavior, priorities, and relationships. So it's not what you say, but it's what you do. So an example that Mary shared was a story about how when she was an employee, the CEO of this big company came in and they were chatting and her cabinet door wouldn't close. It just kind of kept opening. And so she kept with her foot trying to shut the cabinet door because she was a little embarrassed that it kept opening and the CEO's in her office. And eventually she got it, kind of slammed closed. And most leaders would just kind of ignore that and move on. But the next day she came into her office and found that he had put a shimmy underneath the cabinet so that it would stay closed. And he fixed it. And that stuck with her even all these years later because he humbled himself to do something nice for her. And it showed that he wasn't above doing the trivial things that help the business and show that he cares for his employees. And so that one small action creates and builds trust in her, shows that she's valued, and then it multiplies and becomes the culture of the business. Do you have any examples you can think of where a boss or a leader has surprised you with their generosity?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
It was hard for me too. I thought of one. When I first became a lawyer, I worked for a really large law firm, and one of the managing partners, when I found out that I had passed the bar and was ready to be sworn in, he contacted a judge friend of his and brought his home video camera and came and videotaped me being sworn in as a lawyer.
Aww.
And that was really special because all you need is a notary. And so most people, and what I would have otherwise done is just found a notary and taken the oath and signed the paper, and that would have been it. But we went to the courthouse, and the judge with their full robe on, and I did the oath and was dressed professionally, and he took a video, and it was just it made it a really special occasion, and he didn't have to do that. And I was a new employee and just passed the bar exam. So it really stuck with me all these years that he put in that kind of effort to make me have a special experience.
No, that's so sweet. So one thing to remember is trust is built or broken daily. So if you tell your spouse or your kids you'll be home at a certain time and you're not, you may think it's just one time. But what it actually does is it chips away at trust. Leadership isn't built in the big moments. It's built in small, consistent follow through. So one thing I've always been very careful about, and this stems from an experience in my past, was I try to not say I'm going to do something unless I know that I'm going to do it. Because I remember as a child being promised and told all of these things and nothing coming true. That always stuck with me. So I've tried really hard not to do that in my life, as a parent, but also in employment as well.
Right. Even this is bringing to mind speaking with a friend the other day, and she hosts a lot of get-togethers at her home, and it seems like certain people cancel the day of pretty regularly. And the first time she's like, okay, it's a one-off. But then the second time or the third time that they cancel the day of, she starts to really lose trust and get annoyed even affect their relationship, because some people don't understand the work that is put into hosting a get-together and the money that is spent or the food that is purchased and all these things. And so when someone expects a certain number of people to come, right, and they invest in that, and then the people don't come, it one time is fine, but more than once, it really does affect how they view you. And so just like you, if I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go, I just hold off on responding until I know for sure, because I do not want to be that person who cancels last minute.
Well, they may just stop inviting you entirely if they feel like they can't depend on you. And that's just an example. I mean, you can say that about anything, really. If they invite you to go to a networking event, or they, invite you to take part of something special and you just keep saying no, eventually they're going to stop asking.
Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple, Spotify, and Google My Business are the best platforms to write a review.
2, follow us on social media. Our handle is at Miss Biz Podcast.
3, join our Facebook group, Miss Biz Nation, for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage. Also, ask questions related to your business and discuss topics from our episodes. So your calendar reveals your values. This one is powerful. So you can look at your calendar and see what matters to you. Not what you say matters, but what actually matters. So ask yourself, do you have time booked for your family? Do you call your parents? Do you invest in relationships with siblings? Do you have time to think, or do you have think time? Do you have time built in for silence and solitude for the Lord? Because if it's not scheduled, it's not a priority.
Yeah, this one stood out to me too. When she asked this, what's on your calendar? What's there is what your priorities are. So you can tell me all day long that your priorities are God, family, business, but if you look at your calendar and all that's there is business, then that's what your real priorities are. And she shared that, I think she said she has, and I'm talking about Mary, the CEO of BNI, she has, I think, 10 siblings. And she said she talks to each of them every week.
Wow.
And she has time blocked in her calendar. Every week at this time, she calls sibling 1, and then the next day she calls sibling 2. And so she talks to every sibling every week.
That's a lot.
I have another friend, Steve Flores, and he has siblings too, and they have a combined FaceTime call with all the siblings every evening.
That's pretty cool.
Every evening, the 4 or 5 of them, however many they are.
Every evening?
Every evening.
Wow.
Because I've been there, and they'll be like, say hi to Brooke, and they show the phone, around, and they're all there. I see all the little faces on the screen. Every night, they have a sibling call. So that shows that you value your family. Mm-hmm. And so you have to look at where you're spending your time and what you're prioritizing for your time. That's truly what matters to you. And if you don't like what your calendar reflects about you, then you can change it. You can start blocking time for these things that matter to you that you're not making time for.
Yeah. Then there's the power of think time. And we've spoken about this in several episodes where high-level leaders don't just do more, they think more. So most business owners, they're stuck reacting, responding, putting out fires with zero space to think. So making sure that you're blocking and prioritizing 30 minutes a week at a minimum where there's no phone, no interruptions, just thinking, that's going to allow you to be able to have that space to make the best decisions possible.
Next, she talked about the grandparent principle. So this was really cool. She said they did a study of children who had strong self-confidence, and they looked to see what was the common trait or common factor to all of those children. And do you know what it is? Can you guess?
Was a grandparent?
Yeah, I gave it away. My bad. They had a strong relationship with a grandparent. And that was so surprising to me. I thought maybe it would be a parent.
Yeah.
Or something else. But, they had a strong relationship with a grandparent. And so I started thinking about this, and it made sense to me because grandparents are the ones who have the truly unconditional love. They don't have expectations. They're the ones who give you the candy when mom says no. They're just like, here's whatever you want. You are the best thing in the world. They create a sense of identity, and they just are fun and loving all of the time. And so people need someone who believes in them. And as a leader, ask yourself, are you that person for your team? Are you the sweet knitting grandma who just loves unconditionally? Or are you the nagging spouse?
Can I be the grandma from Hoodwink that like goes snowboarding and skydiving and all that?
Sure.
Okay, that's what I want to be.
So ask yourself, what does my leadership shadow look like right now? If you had to put one word on your leadership shadow, what would it be? Here's some options. Consistent, rushed, intentional, distracted, inspiring. Think about it. Come up with one word that describes your leadership shadow and post it in Miss Biz Nation.
Yeah, so remember, leadership is not what you declare, it's what you demonstrate every day in small ways over time, because your shadow is always forming. So the question is, are you building something people want to follow or something they want to escape?
And reminder, go into Miss Biz Nation, our Facebook group, and comment what's one change you're making this week to improve your leadership shadow.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.